Pedro and Eli are joining us in the Zoom room right now, and they are with the Light of the World Church, a church that some of you may have heard about because they're doing some pretty good work in the community, including passing out water to people like myself who like to exercise at the fitness trail here in Harmon. And you might not know this, but they are actually two of the many brains behind this wonderful Mexican restaurant up in Dededo. It's a roadside operation that has really, really grown over the last year and a half. We're going to talk to them all about this and how you can help not only their missionary work here on the island to spread the good word, but also help them to build a nice church and increase their congregation. So, gentlemen, it's good to see you. Happy holidays to you both.
Happy holidays to you too, Jason. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
All right, absolutely. So let's go ahead and get into the backstory and everything. How did you guys come to Guam? You know, what's your mission here, and where do you guys originally hail from?
Well, we are the light of the world, and we are a religious community that believes in God and Jesus Christ, and we're also instructed to follow the commandments established by Jesus Christ. We're actually a group of missionaries that arrived to the island 3 years ago. My brother Pedro arrived a year and a month ago, I believe. So he's more recently he's one of the most recent additions to the group. But the initial group arrived 3 years ago from different parts of the world. We gathered in Houston in 2018, and from there we were sent to different parts around the world. All the missionaries, all the volunteers who signed up for the missionary work, and we were of the few chosen to be sent to Guam. And so we are here to spread this good news, the message of salvation. We're here to spread the gospel, the teachings of Jesus Christ. And we were sent here because our church was not located here. So we're here to establish the church on Guam and to remind the people of Guam that God loves all of us and he wants all of mankind to hear his message of salvation.
Absolutely. Now you guys are starting from the ground up, which, you know, it's an ambitious endeavor. Certainly you guys are coming from, you know, a place of education, a place of love. But those are some pretty substantial challenges to get a church started, basically, you know, coming out here and building up from scratch and everything. So, you know, how was that like? Do you guys have like a 2-year plan, 3-year plan of like how you want to grow the congregation and spread the word?
No beginning is easy. You know, there are challenges here and there, but we know what we signed up for, and we have the strong desire to help in the ministry. So we are doing everything that we can to sustain the church in this place. Some of us signed up for a short term, but after we leave, they will send new missionaries to the island. It's kind of like a cycle. Like when we go, there's other missionaries that come that continue building up the church.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Pedro, where are you guys originally from, and you know what's your background?
So originally we're from a lot of different places. I came from Colorado, in Colorado Springs. We have people from New Jersey, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Texas. He's from California, from San Diego. So we're from all around. It's just you know, we were all sent here from different backgrounds, and we were all united in one place. And it, you know, it just shows the love of Christ that even though we all come from different places, we all have that same unity, that same desire to spread the word and to make this a better place right here.
Well, maybe, Pedro, this was divine intervention at work, because there are actually a lot of Guamanians who are in Colorado Springs. Like there's a lot of people who go out there either for, you know, the Air Force Academy, or they go out there for school, and then, you know, I mean, there's a pretty substantial Guam community out there.
Yeah. My parents, I met a lot of people from Guam that followed me. They're like, hey, they know you guys from your food stand, and I'm like, oh wow, that's incredible.
Okay, perfect segue, because Sabrina and I, like, you know, my co-host on the show, we both live up north, right? And we've every once in a while we would pass, and we would always see like really, really happy, friendly person, like, you know, waving people down, wearing like the Dayglow vest and everything like that. Initially, I know there was a sign that said, you know, authentic Mexican tamales, and now the menu has basically grown and everything. Tell me all about this this restaurant that you guys have come up with, and how are you guys going to use the funds and the proceeds?
Well, we can go back to the very beginning, to when we first got here. We initially started selling only 2 flavors of tamales, and it was kind of like a trial and error type thing. You know, the flavors were all right, the flavors were here and there, the recipe could be perfected. But we began our sales in Jonia, in the Jonia night market, where the Carabao is at. I don't know if you remember where that's at.
Yep.
But that's where we sold. We sold a couple of times, but the first few sales were pretty bad. There was a lot of leftover tamales and stuff. We wouldn't sell that much. So we decided, maybe if we went to the Manila night market, we'll sell some more. So that's what we did. We made a little bit more tamales, and we went to Manila, and it was still something, a dish that was kind of new to Guam. Not a lot of people knew it, and we would give out samples, but not a lot of people would try and taste it because it just looked like not something that we would you would see usually on the island, because the style of the Mexican tamales are different from the local tamales. So
I was gonna say the local style tamales gisu. That's a hard market to break into.
yeah, yeah, and making the tamales, the Mexican style tamales, was not easy either. Like I said, we had a lot of trial and error. There were a lot of tamales that would end up getting burned. There was a lot of pots that would end up getting burned when we're steaming them. We would use firewood in the beginning to cook the tamales. So it was kind of complicating and challenging in the beginning, but we were able to grow from that. After the pandemic hit, though, it was kind of hard to sell food. So we took a bit of a pause, but then in last year actually, we began to sell our tamales again. Instead of 2 flavors, now we have 3 flavors. And us moving up to Dededo really helped and played a big role in the sales that we make today, and in the food that people love today. Because up in Dededo, it's more populated, and there's a lot of people. It's a melting pot up here. There's a lot of different cultures. It's very diverse, and a lot of people are open to try the Mexican food. And so, we started selling our 3 flavors of the tamales, and we decided, maybe we should sell a little bit more so that people could see a little bit more of our culture and the food that we usually are accustomed to make. And so our sister Eliana, who's actually from El Salvador, and our sister Mali had this idea of making burritos. So they're the minds behind the whole burrito idea, and they started to make these versions of burritos that are a little more original, a little different, but people like them. And we said, people like them, we should keep on making this. So we did. And then New Year's 2021, one of the girls made birria for the house. And we decided, what if we make a quesadilla with this birria? It was for New Year's, it was for us, but the idea came up, what if we make people try this? People might like it. So we made a little bit of birria in the beginning, and we started selling it, and a lot of people ended up liking it. And we came up with, maybe we should just continue selling this. And ever since then, it's kind of expanded. A lot of new people are trying it. A lot of people love it. And, that's one of the reasons why we enjoy bringing this food to the community, because we can see how much people like it.
Well, I'm sure, Pedro, you would agree. Like, the good book does say that, persistence is virtuous. And, if you keep it something, it will pay off. Because I got to tell you, I live up there. And every weekend when I'm driving by, you still see people waving down. But, I mean, you guys have this whole, it looks like a dining section. And it really looks, even with social distancing regulations, it looks like it's standing room only these days. Yeah. You guys have a very large and devout, loyal following. So, and that's to be commended.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate all of our supporters.
Yeah. What seems to be the most popular menu item?
Yeah, it would probably be the birria quesadilla. Yeah, that's what's been going by the quickest. Our tamales are always going to be our best seller, but the birria is starting to take over.
Okay, and this isn't just let's set up a venture. You guys are sharing your culture, like you said, like the missionary team here is very diverse. The proceeds from this restaurant and everything like that, you guys are actually going to use this to build a proper sanctuary for your church in the attempt to expand the membership. Is that correct?
We are trying to use the funds that we have. We're using them for the impulse and the growth of the church. And that goes to, purchasing a temple or building up a temple, but everything is going to that purpose because that is our main objective on the island, to grow the work, to grow the church on the island.
Okay. So, and what are the hours of operation? So now that we've got everybody's appetite whetted for, authentic Mexican, tamales, birria, the burritos and everything, when can people check you guys out?
We'll be, our next sale will be on the 17th and the 18th of this month. However, right now, because of Christmas, we are open for pre-orders for the tamales. The tamales are a minimum of 50 to pre-order them for Christmas. But, that's a time when the families come together, when the friends come together. So, that's when we're trying to invite people to try the tamales and share it with all their family members for the holidays.
Outstanding. And Pedro, can you tell me about, because I actually met you guys because I was exercising, like I said, like up the street at the at the fitness trail on one Sunday afternoon, and I noticed that maybe right before sundown and everything, there's this kind of like little small enclave of really nicely dressed young people that would go up there and set up a tent, and then they'd come out and then they would non-intrusively they'd go to people who were exercising and just kind of go up to them and give them a bottle of cold water and just say, here, we brought this for you. And I remember I went up to you guys afterwards and I was like, hey, you guys are fantastic, thank you for doing this for his community. And then that's how I got introduced to you guys. Is that part of is that part of your ministry?
Yes, we use this to help spread the word, because the goal of the restaurant or the food is to raise funds, right? But we also need to get a way to actually spread our word that we're trying to preach on this island. And so those Sundays, we use those to start preaching, to give out cards so that people come visit us in church. They tasted our food, they know our culture a little bit more, but now we want them to also get that spiritual food that they also need for their souls.
Right.
So we do that invitation for them to come visit us, in their free time, whenever they have a question, whenever they have something in their life that they need help with. Well, we incite them to come and visit God, come and ask him in their prayers to help you. So that is what we do that in those Sundays.
And little things like that, like whether it's during the holidays or year round and everything like that, like a total stranger, you really are nourishing people's hearts and everything. So I saw you guys did that and I was like, man, I don't know who these guys are. I got to have them on the show though, because you guys don't have to do this. It's on a Sunday afternoon, the day of rest, that whole thing. But I was like, the fact that you guys are actually doing this, it's a really positive thing that you guys are doing for the community. And hopefully it would, encourage others to, do what they can for their fellow Guamanians.
Of course, that's what we aspire. We aspire to not just ourselves to do good things, but that everybody else comes and join us,
Okay.
Make a community in which we all are loving and become better people every single day.
And that being the case, right? Turnabout is fair play, right, gentlemen? So now that you are, Guamanians and you've been here like long enough, what is your favorite thing to eat from local cuisine?
Calaguin. Yep, chicken calaguin for me.
Good choice. There are many different types of calaguin, but chicken tends to dominate them. So, so real quick before I let you guys go, we want to do whatever we can to help you guys out. Increase the congregation, get you guys to that point where you guys can actually build a temple. So, is there a social media account where people can follow you? And what time do you guys hold services?
So our @ on Facebook is at the Light of the World Guam. So if you guys want to give us a like on Facebook, we have our information and our posts there. Our hours for our services are weekdays at 7 p.m. and Thursdays at 6:30 and Sundays at 10 a.m. So we hold services daily, so anyone can attend at any one of our services during the week. The only thing that we do ask is, because of COVID, to give us a call before coming. Our number is 989-5313, 671-989-5313. To give us a call, that way we can make sure that all of the precautions, are implemented. That way we keep everyone safe.
All right, and can I just ask you, before we let you go, since this is a church, we believe in the good word here and in the good book. Would you guys mind sharing a prayer with us?
Well, we do our prayers a little bit differently. We pray kneeling down. We pray to God, in secret. But we are going to be praying for you guys and for all of the community,
okay,
for all the first responders, because we know that everyone shares a part, has a role to play in the community. And so, we are taught to love one another, to love our neighbors. We are taught to love our God above all things. And we are taught to ask him for whatever it is that we desire in our hearts. So we're going to be doing that, asking our God to bless all of Guam, all of the authorities on Guam, all of the community, all of the citizens in Guam, so that God may give all of Guam, the unity that it needs to continue prospering, to continue advancing.
Well, that's why they call it the good word. Thank you for sharing that. And we're praying for you too. And let's catch up real soon, because we want to see the progress, and we want to see with your ever expanding menu.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's catch up on December 17th or 18th.
Yeah, we love food on the show. So anytime we can talk about food, we're all in.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
All right, so
thank you guys.
So that's Eli Aguilera and Pedro Medina Jr. with the Light of the World Church. Check them out, everybody. Good people doing good things in the community. And stay tuned, because we will be back right after this.
For TV schedules, upcoming sports, special presentations, or what you may have missed.
Learn about people and organizations making a difference in our community on the greater good every Wednesday during The Link. Building awareness, promoting events, generating change. Find inspiration to seek out the greater good every Wednesday. Listen, watch, stream. Miss the link? Miss a lot. Presented by Jay Goodman, a happiness company, and Guam Windward Memorial. Celebrate life.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented